Or you can actually ask yourself, how can I use this time in darkness, which will not last, because you know this, dark times never last. The real question is, how can I leverage the pain? How can I leverage the darkness? How can I leverage the heartbreak? If you're going through a divorce right now, if you're going through a financial problem right now, if you're going through an illness right now, if you are going through any form of crisis right now, I know you might not even want to get out of bed in the morning. It might be that bad. Please remember this: crisis comes to serve the person who wants to use it as fuel. And you have a choice. You can be a victim and you can let it break you, or you can actually ask yourself, how can I use this time in darkness, which will not last, because you know this, dark times never last. The real question is, how can I leverage the pain? How can I leverage the darkness? How can I leverage the heartbreak so it grows me, so it makes me stronger, so it makes me wiser, so it allows me to tap into the greatest of virtues of humanity, so that you shift from being the person you once were before the crisis to a whole new level of wow. And so I want to share with you, I've gone through a divorce, and I've gone through some very painful times. And during those times, they were messy. And during those times, I got off my game at times. And during those times, I was confused. But more than anything else, during those times, I felt pain. And how did I get through those times, and how did I navigate the shadows? Well, here are the tools I want to share with you. Number one, journaling has saved my life. I mean, for hundreds and hundreds of years, people in pain have pulled out a fresh, blank sheet of paper and poured their pain onto the written page. And now there's science coming out. Science is actually saying when you journal about what's good in your life, even when you feel like nothing's good in your life, you actually release all these neurotransmitters which make you feel better. You've heard me say this before, perhaps. Gratitude is the antidote to pain. And so journaling, where you process through your pain. I mean, the worst thing you can do is what society suggests that you do. Escape, get busy, forget about it, lose yourself in work. Of course you have to work. Of course you have to show up. Your team needs you. Life needs you. Your family needs you. Life is for the living. I got it. But I don't believe that the answer to get through your pain is to escape in your pain. And too many people do that. And I've read the books that say to do that. You can't motivate yourself out of heartbreak. You've got to feel yourself through the heartbreak. I mean, I think it's that Alanis Morissette song. The quickest way out is in. And the wisest amongst us get that. But most people don't. They literally numb themselves to the pain, and then they wonder why 5 years later they have a heart attack. 10 years later, they end up with cancer. And so journaling allows you to process through the pain. There are gifts in pain. There is glory in pain. That's how you develop the bravery. That's how you develop the humanity. When I've gone through the most difficult times and I'm in pain, I use it as a servant. And it makes me humble. When the ego starts screaming, pain shuts down that ego pretty quickly. And you look at the greatest amongst us, they have endured the most suffering. Suffering's not a bad thing. Suffering is an awesome thing. The world just says to us, it puts a label on suffering, but you're going to get better if you use suffering to your advantage. So journaling is a tool where you actually get to process through the pain, write about your heartbreak, or write about your confusion, or write about your hurt, or write about your misunderstanding, write about the fact that you think it's never going to end, write about your blessings, write about your talents, write about what's good in your life, because even in the worst feeling life, you have daylight and you want to focus on that day. When I am going through my most painful times, I run to the woods. I run to nature. My house is filled with flowers. I do 1 hour nature walks every day when I'm going through my most difficult times. Because sometimes when I'm going through the hardest times, I don't feel like doing the run. It's a soft time of life. It's a subtle time of life. I've learned to be gentle with myself, even though I am an A player. And so the nature allows me to commune with the beauty